friend on the way out. I mean, they're gonna give you play by play.
Okay, that's off the chart blue.
That's off the chart blue.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Off the
And
chart
then
blue.
we went to Chick-fil-A, but I
Yeah.
don't like the spicy. I got the number
Exactly.
one.
20%.
Because they want to connect with you, right? They tend to be very vulnerable. They like that vulnerability and showing you their inadequacies. A red hides their insecurity. They will not at all costs let you see a weakness. You bring it up, they're not talking about it. You will not hear them talking about failures. It's a whole different thing with a blue, right? So these guys are logical. Ask a red how he feels, and he will tell you how he thinks. Ask a blue how he feels. Pull up a chair and bring a box of tissue. So they're gonna let it all hang out. I'm talking all the way back to childhood. It doesn't matter. Everything they went through, because they want to connect with you, so they're gonna share with you.
That's good.
But that's what you get with them though, and they tend to be big on quality. They connect, empathy comes very easily for a blue. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that. Is everything okay? And see, they're gonna ask you questions to draw it out. So they tend to be very good at that. But very organized, and one of the ways I always know a blue is because of the detail in the question. When I teach class, it's just one why after the next. One why. Well, why did they make it out of fibrates? Why didn't they do it some other way? I have no idea. One blue asked me one time, he's like, well, which one of these colors is most likely to be a serial killer? I don't know. But they're just full of questions. That's the way their mind processes. But see, it's two different things when you understand it. They're asking you all these questions. They'll come to you and ask you all kinds of questions because they want to get it right. Whereas a red, they don't ask any questions because they want to prove to you they can do it right. Matter of fact, they're insulted if you give them too much information. And these guys are insulted or offended. These guys are offended when you don't give them enough details on how to do the job. So where exactly do you want me to stand when the customer comes up? Red's like, I'm smart enough to figure it out for myself.
Right.
It's just two different ways. These guys don't really care a whole lot. It's like, hey, as long as I'm in the game, coach, I'm happy. Hartman called these guys your heavyweights. These are your bears, your lions. These are your squirrels, your rabbits. They're lightweight personalities. What he means by that, because think about it. If you get in a squirrel space, he's gone. Get in a red space, he's going to bite back.
Okay.
Right? You say something that'll fit, they're going to come right back at you. But see, these guys are not necessarily going to do that. That's why he calls them a lightweight personality. But yeah, that's what you get with a blue. So the downside of the blue is they drive people nuts with the details. Why? But then they also, the other biggest thing about a blue, and off the chart blue, is going to be an emotional character. Tend to be very sensitive. So things just touch them emotionally because they put their heart and soul into what they do. It's not a bad thing. You need that. But they tend to be very emotional. So things touch them. They're easily offended sometimes. And the reason why I was saying they clash here is because the red is logical. So the red's constantly saying to the blue, you cry too much. And the blue is like, you have no heart. You're cold. Ice. And it's just back and forth. And until you understand one another, then you can appreciate it. But that's the thing, and then being so precise about everything. So that's where they tend to struggle at. But you get fantastic quality from them. But watch this though. If you make a promise to a blue and you break that promise, here's where the emotionality comes in. They remember what you said a year later, what you were, exactly what position you were
My
sitting
husband would
in,
be telling you, God, you were so right.
what position you
months
sitting
later,
in, and what your tone of voice was. They do not forget. And it's not that they don't want to, it's just that they struggle with it. So one of the things that I teach blue, the most important word for blue is this, is to remember. Remember you said you weren't going to be offended. Remember you said you weren't going to hold them hostage, so to speak. You were going to forgive them. Remember you said you were going to get over it. They have to constantly remind themselves, because their natural thing is to take things very personally. They probably struggle the most with criticism. You come at them, you better come very indirectly because they put their heart and soul into whatever they did. So when you criticize them, it goes straight to the heart. This is not the person that's going to throw something together at the last minute. These guys will. It doesn't matter. I got it done, so what? It doesn't have to be perfect. But these guys put their heart and soul into it, so when you criticize them, it goes straight to the heart. So totally different. Does it make sense?
Don't you think 10 years is a long time?
10?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? They'll remember something 20 years ago.
Yes, we will.
Get one that's off the chart.
I mean, I
But
don't
you gotta remember,
what I
though,
did yesterday.
Not all blues are created equally. See, I'm an off the chart blue, and I mean off the chart. My score on the Hartman is 88% blue,
Oh my gosh.
which means I'm going to be probably the most I've only seen one guy in my lifetime that scored higher than I did. And he worked in Atlanta. He actually transferred to Virginia. He and I went to the factory together. This guy named Jeremy.
We don't
I'm
care
gonna
about
show
all
you-
these details.
I'm gonna show you. But see, here's the thing. Blues make fantastic teachers.
Oh,
See?
Ah, no, so
Because they
I have to
empathize, they're very organized, they're detail oriented,
no.
they care about you.
yeah, but in a
If you-
relationship, it could be dangerous.
Yeah, they can all struggle in relationships. I'm gonna break those down
Yeah,
too.
I mean, you know, like 10 years later, they don't forget you.
Yeah, they bring it up all the time. I have people confirm it in class all the time. My wife brought some, my husband brought some up 15 years ago. What? I don't even remember.
That is true.
But it's what happened. But these guys are research oriented, very analytical. You see a lot of them as teachers and counselors. They're fantastic in that because they love research. They love the details. And obviously in class, they just have to learn how to temper. But see, I'm a seasoned blue.
Okay.
So
So
that-
are you gonna later on talk about if I make best
What color is
friends
that?
with- Are you,
See, you see.
Yeah, here
who do
we
you
go.
make best friends with, or who do you?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay,
compare
she's
all the
asking
colors.
you questions, I mean,
Yeah.
she's blue, right?
I'm gonna compare all of them once I get through.
Hey, I'm already gone, man. I'm already gone.
I'll tell you which ones naturally complement, what
Okay,
your
good.
challenge is gonna be with them,
Okay.
and stuff like that.
You're probably, when are you gonna get to the yellow? That's what you're saying, right, Tim? That's what you're
That's
thinking.
what I'm saying. What's happening here?
See, it's the natural thing. Red is like, okay, so what's the
I
next
got
point?
this next.
Blue is like, well, how's everybody feeling?
Well, how's it make
The
me
whites
feel?
are like, can we all just get along? And the yellow is like, when we gonna have some more fun? See, they're all processing in different ways. But I already know the red's thinking like that. I put too many people through it. They constantly confirm it. Before I was so rudely interrupted. No, just kidding. Where was I? Was I on
We
the
don't
blue?
take it. We don't take it.
They don't forget anything?
Yeah, they tend not to forget. So, but remember, they're gonna be very precise. So when you make a promise to them, they're gonna hold you to that. So you gotta be careful about doing that unless you're gonna stick to it. Okay, so reds of all the colors get the worst rap from people, not because they are the worst, but because they tend to be in positions of leadership. And just like the president and leaders, people always taking pot shots at you, always criticizing you. It's not because they're the worst. Whites tend to get the best rap, not because they are, but because they're very laid back. So let's talk about the white. So they get the best rap. They are the quintessential team player. They have the best traits to be the best friends with all the colors. They get along with all the colors. If they're high on white, they're going to get along. Because matter of fact, if they're a dominant white, say they're in the 50s on the white, 60s especially, and you can't get along with a white, consider yourself the problem. It's not likely because everything about these guys, they're non-judgmental, they're fantastic listeners, they are the most patient people on the earth. They love people. They just think that there's room for everybody's opinion. They don't understand why you should ever argue. You'll know a white the quickest way like this. They tend to be very even keeled. So when you see one, if he's off the chart, it's just like this all the time. They're very even keeled. You will almost never hear them yell or scream. It just doesn't